Hello. I was watching it go to 0 and I didn't, it didn't register with me. CJ says, I always have a nice setup. Luria, thank you so much. We love our cameras around here. Oh, Los Angeles. All of Los Angeles? That's incredible. Welcome, welcome. If you're new around here, please do type new in the comments so that I can meet you. I'm feeling all cozy today and a little tired. I don't know about you guys. I am a bit tired. I'm looking forward to, as soon as the road's clear, we got a huge snowfall here. As soon as the road's clear, I can't wait to get out on a hike this weekend. What are you guys doing this weekend? This is Q&A. We just tackle any questions that you might have about video, production stuff, tech, live streaming, audience growth, revenue, making money from your content, engagement, whatever you've got on your brain when it comes to being a content creator. That is what we are here to talk about. Dina, welcome. Man Hour, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Want to see the new toys? Oh, I got some new toys, by the way. And I was going to shoot a video about them, but the roads are not clear enough to have Callie and Chris come over to shoot. So I have to wait until next week to do that. Melissa is cleaning and making some juice. Nice. I have found, this is totally random and having nothing to do with being a content creator, but I have a juicer. I love to juice. However, it's like such a heavy care process, like cleaning it and all of that. But so I found a local place that does really good juices. So when I want to juice, I go to them. Burnin, from Malaysia. Nice. I love that. Mudslides. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Hey, Paul. And avalanches maybe. Wait. Mudslides and avalanches? What? What are we what? Let me get Super Chat going. I did disable that. Super Chat is now active. So here are the rules of the game today. If you have a question, type Q in front of your question. That way it makes its way into my queue. I answer them in the order that they were received. However, if you want to jump to the top of the queue, you can just Super Chat and include your question in that Super Chat, and that will take priority. I love my juice, but the carrot is troublesome. It really is. You have to be committed. You have to be committed to it for sure. Yeah, so we got huge amounts of snow. I think Callie said at her place it was over a foot. I think that's what you said, right? We were about the same here, and Abby has not been a happy girl at all. She is not happy about having to go. 11 inches, nice. You're using the wrong juicer. Wait, what? There's a juicer that doesn't take any care, cleanup? How is that even possible? That is not even possible. Please do tell me what this magic juicer is. Not a stupid question. There are no stupid questions here at all, Dina. So a super chat, and I'm going to assume that somebody is going to show you what that looks like. But a super chat is a way that you can support the creators that you watch here on YouTube with a little donation, $1, whatever. But it is also we do it in a very engaging way because when somebody does super chat, and you find that by the chat box, there's a little $sign. When somebody does super chat, we have a little animation that pops up and some music that plays. So we have a lot of fun with it around here. Not every channel does it that way, but yeah. It should take 1 minute to clean your juicer. I think you're lying to me. I feel like you're trying to lie to me right now. I don't even know how that is possible. Please do share this magic juicer. We just got rain, no snow. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna get to Q&As. It only takes a minute to clean my juicer. we talking about the same thing? Thank you, Catalina, for the super chat. And Dina, you'll see that super chat come up in a highlighted box in the chat room as well. Does Abby have snow booties? I have tried really hard to do that, but she will not wear them. Thank you so much, Sony APS user. Thank you so much for the super chat. Here's my support. Aw, it's a great way to support your favorite content creators. Thank you so much for showing that off. Okay, questions coming in. Put a queue in front of your question if you have a question. That way it makes its way into my queue. You don't have to answer or ask it multiple times. We will get to in the order that it was received, and super chats take priority. All right, those are the rules, and you can ask anything that you want. I mean, it can be about juicing. Not that I'm an expert, but primarily most people like to ask questions about video and live streaming tech. There you go, you did it! Yes! Great job! Can I attach this to the previous question about TikTok? Let me grab that. I see it now. I'm attempting to start streaming on TikTok. How do I get a stream key? I'm assuming that we can maybe we can pull up a tutorial link. I actually don't stream on TikTok, so there's probably a tutorial video on that. But it's usually in, and I should probably look at this. I'm like, I haven't looked at this. Usually it's in your account settings, but if you go into your account and then into the back end, there should be like a box that says stream, and then you would be able to get the key there. Hopefully that helps. And if one of our team can, or one of the community members can find a link easily, then we're going to be happy to share that. Survivor Larry. I feel like this is not close enough to me right now. Hold on. I'm like struggling to reach over to my queue here. All right, so Survivor Larry, how do you do the animation around your camera shots on the right? So this is the beautiful work of the magical Mr. Paul Dixon, our graphic designer, and he creates basically a MOV file that I load into ECAMM, and so that is in the file that I overlay on top of my video. We have lots of tutorials on ECAMM. We have lots of things in the store. If you've not been in the store yet, then we have lots of graphics. This particular one is not there, but we like to keep some things to myself to be a little unique. But we do have a ton for you to be able to just drop into your software. So livestreamingpros.com/store, and then you can learn the software side of things. We have quick start guides for Mac, PC, ECAMM vMix, and OBS quick start guides on our website that are super simple to learn how to get this stuff set up easily. Now, speaking of learning, before we keep going with questions, really, really, really important. Y'all listening? Okay. Really important. We are hosting a live training on Wednesday, and I really want to have you. I want to see you there. This is really important. How many of you do Zoom? Like host a Zoom call, or you doing virtual events, or you do a webinar, or you do anything in Zoom? If you do, you need to be at this live training. So that is happening live on Wednesday. In 90 minutes, we are going to transform your Zoom experience and really help you learn how to engage using just the tools that Zoom gives you. So many people don't know all of the features that you can do inside of Zoom to create more engagement, create a more fun and memorable experience that really helps at the end of the day lead you to creating, loyalty with your audience and if you have something that you're selling within the Zoom experience, that like a webinar or something like that, then it can actually improve your profit. So this is, yeah, we're not doing anything on Teams. I promise you that. Sorry. Yes, Zoom, right? I do, please. Okay, livestreamingpros.com/Zoom. I want you to go get registered today. That is actually happening on Wednesday. And it's at a special pre-launch price. So once we do the live training, then that price might go up. So what time is it? 10 a.m. Pacific. 10 a.m. Pacific, which is like this time of the day. Yeah. So I Zoom a lot. Who doesn't? I know, right? Everybody Zooms, and everybody complains about Zoom fatigue. You know, like if you understand the tools and the actual ways of engaging with your attendees, both engaging with them and getting them to engage with you, Zoom fatigue goes away. Zoom fatigue is about a bad experience, right? And so I think that's a really important thing. And at the end of the day, Zoom is like my favorite form of live streaming, right? We're live streaming here, but I can't see your face. And as much as I love this form of live streaming, Zoom takes that experience so much further. And so if you are looking to create a loyal audience, you should be doing stuff in Zoom. It is a powerful, powerful tool that you have at your disposal. And so I want you to show up. I want you to do the work. It's 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes plus a Q&A. We got you covered. We're going to go through those tools and you are going to see a massive difference in your Zoom calls. All right, so let's see. Next question. Oh, we got to go to Q&A. All right. If you have questions about the Zoom training, feel free, drop a Q in front of your question. But first, it's time for... Whoa, that is the wrong one. Okay, now your questions. Michael, do you use the A10 Mini or ECAMM for live streaming? Where A10 Mini is used, where is the A10 that you see sitting here on my desk used in my workflow? So I use ECAMM to do the majority of my streaming efforts. The A10 Mini that you see here, this is actually just a camera switcher for me. And so I have like 12 cameras in here, right? So I have like 2 docks, I have multiple computers. I have like 3 computers in this whole setup. That's the test station over there. You see the boxes of the goodies that I haven't shared with you yet on the floor over there. And then, yeah, so basically this is just switching two of my camera, or 2 to 4 of my cameras, depending on what I have set up at any given time. But all of the software or all of the graphics are done through ECAMM. And I have a video, really helpful video, or at least people have told me that, about using software versus the ATEM and why you might want to do each. So that's on this YouTube channel. If you search for ATEM, you'll find that. And so that would probably be a very good video for you to go watch next after we're done here. It's so weird that Zoom gets a lot of hate in the developer Twitter, but as a video producer, it's seriously the best option. Yeah, it's so good. I love Zoom. I love Zoom. Done right, Zoom can be amazing. There are Zooms I remember as if I were actually there. I have to remind myself it was over a computer, right? I mean, you know, we hosted a virtual event, a huge virtual event using Zoom, and the experience for the audience was massive. Now, we were doing a lot more than the native Zoom features, but you can create an amazing experience just with what Zoom gives you. And that's what we want to help you see and do. And of course, we'll talk about how to look better within that Zoom experience without costly gear. So we're gonna give you some tips to really improve it all. All right, next question, CJ's info. What's the best strategy for getting a strong audience on a mixed content channel like mine? What is your channel about? So I don't know. I need some clarification. I'm happy to answer this, but I kind of need a little bit more clarification in terms of what you mean by mixed content channel. Usually what that means is that you're doing different topics on the same channel. The question is the audience the same, right? Are you speaking to the same audience? And if you're not niching down and you're doing a whole bunch of different things, that can really harm you on the YouTube experience. There are people who have like variety channels that do really well. The difference is the audience is subscribing, the audience is showing up for a theme within that, right? So you can have variety as long as it's housed within a theme that the audience is going to like all of the different topics that you're doing. Does that make sense? CJ, how-to YouTube videos, DIY household, and crypto. Whew, those are very different topics, very different audiences. I would highly suggest you rethink your strategy on that. In fact, this morning, I was just having, in our accelerator program, we have students going through these strategies, right? Of like really nailing down what their topic is. CJ, where's your subscriber base? I'm guessing you're asking because you don't feel like you're getting a lot of traction. Is that true? I was just having this conversation with one of my students in accelerator program, and he started with some big topics and really learned to like narrow it down, and he is definitely going to see better traction by doing that. We've seen it time and time again with our community and our students. They do struggle, right? And in fact, like I was having this conversation twice this morning. Now that I think about it, yes, laugh out loud. I do very well with the how-to YouTube videos. I'm mostly with the YouTube side of content, and I do very well with SEO. But what's happening is YouTube can't really figure you out, right? So I would highly suggest just narrowing down a bit. If you don't feel like, if people get frustrated because they feel like they want to talk about these different topics, and that's okay, but not. I get it. And, once you get one channel going really, really well, then you can start another channel if it's a totally different audience. But the topics on your channel should be for the same audience. If they're not, you're gonna hurt yourself. Yeah. Great questions coming in. Just a quick reminder, I see this, but it won't make its way into my queue. So if you have a question, be sure to put queue in front of the question like others are. That way it makes its way into my queue because I'm kind of going in order. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. I just want to go back up here. CJ, does that make sense? Does that help? TikTok is weird. I have 32,000 followers. TikTok denied me the stream key, but they give it to a user with 10,000 followers. Ooh. Yeah. All right. Next question. The Suns, using ECAMM and StreamYard, which is better? Okay. So great question. You know what we need to do? I need to do a new video about these levels. Callie, can you write that down for me? send that to me in chat. But the ECAMM and StreamYard are two different levels, essentially, of the way you can go live. So when we think about the 3 levels of live, you're looking at level 1 being your phone. I got this at VidSummit and I stuck it in my case. Level 1 is your phone. Quick, easy, you have everything you need, right? But it's definitely not gonna be, it's more raw, right? It's not the highest quality. Level 2 is browser-based streaming softwares like StreamYard, Restream Studio, Wave.video, Live Studio as well. So like there are that's where you go onto a browser and you stream from there. Then you go to level 3, which is downloadable software. So that allows you to have a lot more control over the quality. You're not going to be able to do something like this on StreamYard. So that's where the software comes into play and allows you to have a lot more control, a lot higher quality stuff, and really amp that professional level or that professional look and feel up. So hopefully that helps. One is not better than the other. You know, software tends to have a little bit more of a learning curve, which is why we have short guides that are videos that allow you to get started with the software quicker and easier. OBS, yes, yeah, exactly. As well, I tend to kind of like go with ECAMM and vMix, and OBS we also talk about. Activate, oh wait, Sarah, what ingredients do you toss in your juice? I like the veggie side of things, but you usually mix like veggies and fruit a little bit. You know, some people go straight fruit. I don't like to do that. I like the mixture of the veggies in there, but lots of different things. I'm sure there are some great recipe sites out there. Activate LA, what camera are you using to live stream now? This is the Sony ZV-E10, and that is one of the things that you'll find on this free guide that we have, livestreamingpros.com/gear, where it's like your personalized shopping list based on the kind of content that you're trying to create. I'm like, I need to go close my windows. Don't do what I do. Do as I say. Control your lighting. Don't do as I do. This is really bothering me. Okay. But yeah, the Sony ZV-E10, I have a 30mm lens on a Sigma f1.4. Okay. I have, Dina, I've been doing this video streaming stuff for 17 years. So I started back in 2005 with videos, 2007 with live. Matt, I need a shopping cart and accounting platform recommendations. Can and should these be the same? If not, do they talk to each other? So, an accounting platform. Usually the shopping cart, I'm not aware of a solution that is shopping cart and accounting, right? So QuickBooks, there are some newer, I use QuickBooks because my accountant uses QuickBooks, right? But like if you're doing it yourself, there are some newer platforms out there that maybe are a little easier or less expensive than QuickBooks. But shopping cart, you're looking at, you've got Samcart out there, you've got a lot of the different platforms that you're hosting your content on also have shopping carts as an option. So I'm going to tell you this, Matt, and unless you need to like take quick action, we've got some stuff coming up soon that's going to really kind of answer that at a higher rate of like how to mix in all of the things into one. So look for that, not the accounting side of things. Again, accounting is typically completely separate because that's a totally different thing that you're having to do, right? Yeah, you could absolutely create your own accounting system in Excel. I find that like that's like extra hard for like, that's like, I feel like that's like a lot of extra work that doesn't necessarily need to be done. But if you're trying to save money or anything like that, that definitely is possible. So Matt, yeah, hopefully that helps. But we are going to be training on some stuff coming soon. So look forward to that. Dean Crab Stream Key. Is this a code to enable streaming on a platform? Yeah. So, there's RTMP versus API. Those are the two ways that you can stream. You don't need to worry about it unless you need to worry about it. Most of the time, most people are using API. TikTok does not have that. And so that's why they were asking about the RTMP code, the key. But yeah. No. So I don't recommend the ZV-1. I do recommend it for certain types of things, but not for a main camera, because it doesn't have an interchangeable lens, so you can't get as much. This camera right here is a ZV-1, but it's a BTS shot. You could use a ZV-1 for an overhead shot, like a demo cam. You could use it for a behind the scenes shot. If you're mobile and moving out and about, that's totally fine too. But you're not going to get the same control over the quality, the blur effect if you want that, et cetera, et cetera. Callie, another video idea. I use your questions to create videos on this channel. We could do a video on RTMP versus API. Would you guys find that helpful when you need, and what the positives, the pros and cons are of that? Been a while since I talked about that. The other question that I have for you is, what questions do you have? I'm going to keep answering questions, but what questions do you have around YouTube Music? YouTube Music is now a thing, right? They've increased it a lot. Their library. What questions do you have around that? And what questions do you have around deleting or unlisting a YouTube video? Do you have those questions? Let me know. Keep that conversation going. Like I said, when you participate in chat and answer those questions for me, and all your other questions that you're just natively asking, those things help me create better content for you. So just keep that in mind. We are always listening. Next up, Don Boston, I think. Don, when taking clips from long form for short form, how are you linking to the longer? The bio only allows one link, but if you have many videos you want to promote, using the native tool that YouTube is giving you, I assume you're asking. Sorry about that. So I'm not, that is a feature that you should play around with. I feel like are you asking about YouTube? But it's a feature that you should play around with and experiment with. From all of my, conversations with other YouTubers and content creators, it's not necessarily the right thing to do is to clip from the long form for short form. Instead, a lot of people are finding the better success creating a new short form video. But definitely experiment with it. In terms of linking, you can, you could put it in the description, I suppose, but I don't know what you mean by the bio. That's what I'm kind of struggling with here, is what do you mean by the bio, YouTube and Instagram? Instagram only allows one link, yes. A lot of people for Instagram, what they do is use I'm blanking on the name. Somebody will say it in chat, like Linktree. There are a lot of different services. Linktree is one of those. And what that does is you put your Linktree link in the bio, and then that links them to a page that has all of the things that you want them to be able to do. Twitter, YouTube, go to your website, download a free guide, whatever. Excuse me. Link extender is another one, I guess. Or is that the term? But yeah, so that's what you do on Instagram. YouTube, you can put all the links in your about section that you want, and also in the channel header as well. So we have like lots of links in our in every video's description. Dean, regarding the Zoom workshop, reach out to support at livestreamingpros.com. Melissa, my ZV-E10 says when outputting 4K video, you cannot record movies on the recording medium. What does this mean? Am I not recording in 4K to ECAMM? I think what it's... that message should be about recording internally versus, so ECAMM, if you're in 4K on the camera and you have a 4K capture card that is outputting the highest quality possible, and you have the setting in ECAMM to be 4K, then you will be in 4K. So don't worry about that. That it's not something that if you're recording an ECAMM, that you have to worry about. That's just a notice about that more internal stuff. What was I gonna say? Oh, the other thing to note, that's another video we gotta do, 4K. 4K is complicated when not complicated, but there are things you need to know about streaming in 4K, like it's going to crop on the Sony ZV-E10s, on any, of the Sony cameras, right, that we have been recommending, you're going to have a crop factor there. And so you're not going to get like if I were in 4K right now, it would actually be like this, it's like smaller. So just be aware of that. Next question, Sabatya. What is your favorite dock brand and capture card? So the capture cards, I have a video that I compare different capture cards. I have a whole lot more capture cards than the 3 that I did on that particular video, but if you search capture cards on this channel, you'll find it. It's me with 3 different capture cards. And I want you to watch that because it compares the quality output to them. So from that one, of the Elgato series, I like the Cam Link, but then there's also the X, the X one. And those 2 have the highest quality out of the Elgato ones. And there are lots of other capture cards, and maybe I should do a video on all of the capture cards I have. Like, I have a box called capture cards that house like a bazillion of different versions, different products, different manufacturers. I should probably get on that. That was supposed to be done like 2 years ago. Yeah, that was. So Dina, are tags in your videos really important? Tags do help, yes. Tags do support the algorithm to understand, and not just the algorithm, it's like the searching, right? So when people are searching, tags are filling in some blanks there and helping you to rank higher. And also use as many of those tags as you can, right? Like you have 500 characters, use all of them. There's no reason not to. And if you use something like TubeBuddy, it will fill in the blanks for you. Essentially, it'll show you recommendations, so it's pretty quick. Footy Judge, I like your name. Do I need to have an intro? My videos are soccer-based, 9 to 14 minutes. Video channel is brand new. No intros. I was also having this conversation with my Accelerator program students this morning. No intros, no stingers. If you want to have an intro or stinger for branding, then it needs to be less than 3 seconds. 3 seconds max for these things. But ultimately, there's just really no point. It doesn't add anything for the viewer experience. Every choice that you make in your videos needs to be thought from the viewer experience. What is the viewer getting from this? What is their experience? Are they benefiting from anything that I do in my editing choices, in the, deciding to do an intro or a stinger? Are they benefiting from that? If not, if you can't be 100% sure that they are, then don't do it. All right. I answered the question about how long I've been streaming. Naveen, do you still use the Rode shotgun mic? Yes, the mic is right here out of frame. Concept Films, can two people control the live on ECAMM in terms of internet connection if one of them disconnects? No. One ECAMM install is controlled by one computer. Now, you could get fancy and do some remote production type of stuff where you're logging in and having the capability to control a computer. But if somebody disconnects, then that's going to break that connection. So that doesn't really do you any good if that is your concern. If you're concerned about a connection issue, then I would say one, choose the person to run it that's going to have the strongest, internet, and just in case that person does kind of drop off. But backups, right? Like make sure that you're on, you have a UPS going, so if the power fails, that everything is connected into that UPS, and that's power, so that it holds the power of that. If the actual internet goes down, jump on your phone. That's what you can do there. Jump on your phone. Melissa, in relation to my 4K question message for recording to ECAMM, not live streaming. Yeah. Same information. You're recording or going live in 4K. My whole point of that was, as long as the other pieces are in 4K, if you're controlling the recording from ECAMM, you're going to be in ECAMM, as long as that whole line is in 4K. Is my sync off again? I fixed it. Grr. Sai, I'm looking to buy a new Mac to improve my live stream quality and speed. Do you recommend a Mac Mini or Mac Studio or something else? What you need to start with is, what are your needs, right? Oh, everything looks fine? Okay. I was looking at me and I was thinking I was looking out of sync. Okay. Thank you guys. So what you have to start with first is, what are your video needs, right? So let's start there. Identify before you ever, this is true for everybody, okay? Before you go buying the new Macs, right? Like every time a new Mac comes out, everybody's hitting that purchase button, all the fancy stuff. You need to know what you need, right? So before you buy a dock, before you buy a computer of any kind, you have got to know, how many cameras are you running? How many capture cards? How many inputs do you need? How many outputs do you need? And so you've got to think through all of the different things. Your mic, are you using a USB mic? That's going to tell you need something, you need a USB port available, right? Are you using a mixer like the Rodecaster Pro? Are you using an A10? How many monitors do you have? When you break all of that down, then you can make more intelligent decisions about which computer to buy, right? And like for me, in a 12 camera studio setup, I have to have a Mac Studio. I have to. But with, like, if I was doing a single camera production, I might be able to get by with a Mac Mini. If you're all of the new like M1, M2's line, they're all great. And don't stream from an Air ever, but like you really need that. I can't answer that because I don't know how many things you need, right? And so you're no computer, by the way, let me be very clear about this. No computer is going to have all of the ports you need, likely, unless it's a very, very simple setup. If you're going a little bit more complicated, you're very likely going to need a dock, which is the Caldigit that I recommend. And so you're gonna use those two together. You should stream from an Air one day to. That's a good idea, actually, Paul. That is a really good idea. I should do that. Okay, I'm gonna try and remember that. It's nice to buy this shiny thing, but it's also a pain to move everything and reconfigure it every time you're like not making the decisions. In our course, the Pro Video Studio course, we walk you through all of these things to know exactly what you're trying to accomplish. We start at the end and work our way backwards. So if you haven't gone through that course, highly recommend that. It'll really flesh out a whole lot more detail around decisions that you have to make when it comes to setting yourself up for a Pro Video Studio for recording, live streaming, Zoom calls, webinars, virtual events, whatever, right? That sounds like a fun series and one I don't know that I want to do, but I'll see if somebody else wants to do that on this channel. But yeah, can it stream? That would actually be like super fun. Gosh, Paul, you're killing it with the ideas today. I'm going to steal each and every one of them. All right, next question. And speaking of Zoom, if you haven't signed up, I'm going to keep reminding you because it's happening on Wednesday. I just like doing that. Thank you so much, Anthony, for the super sticker. Pair character doing a classic mic drop. I like how they come through in ECAMM with the text. It's happening on Wednesday, Zoom Mastery, 90-minute live workshop. You are going to learn so much about Zoom that you didn't even know existed so that you can create a more fun, enjoyable, and engaging experience for you and for your attendees. You're going to turn yawns into yays. All right, next question. Let's see. Dean says, now you're saying tags are good. Thought you were saying don't do that in my live sing-along show ad. Did you just mean don't talk about YouTube, Facebook, IG, tag only, tag better at the end? I think we're talking about two different things here, Dean. Tags, what I'm referring to, I hold true to everything I told you inside of Accelerator program. Stick to that. But what I was referring to with this question was tags on YouTube. So in your video, I have this weird hair that's doing something funky. Inside of your video, you have 500 characters available to do tags. And that's just a back-end thing. The viewer doesn't see that, but it helps searchability of your video. Does that make sense? Okay. Footy, we do that. We do that. So, you know, I've been getting this question a lot actually lately. So like, how can you get the help you desire? There are a couple of different things. One, obviously answering all the questions all the time here, right? And I love doing that. And if you need more personal advice, then we do one-on-one consults with my team. And so you can sign up for one of those on our website. You can also go through the course that I mentioned where we teach you and train you. What that won't do is give you personal advice, right? So options for you available for whatever, you know, budget or whatever need that you have. We have it all, and all of that is on our website. Not in the description. So there's a section inside of YouTube. Dean, you might ask this question in Accelerator program. That way somebody can provide like a screenshot of where I mean on that. But yeah. Yeah, when you upload a YouTube video, there's a place to put your tags. You see that as you scroll down when you're uploading. In YouTube Studio, yeah. All right, Nepali. Is there an audio latency issue when using ECAMM, Zoom, and RCP2? No. If you're having an audio latency issue, then you need to look into what the problem is, but just using those three things together is not going to create a latency issue or out of sync audio. So yeah. If you are, then there's something wrong in your mix, in the setup itself that's causing that. Melissa, if you were a complete beginner, what video and photography course would you take? Total camera novice. Do you mean, okay, so are you, those are two very different things, photography and videography. So it's not about the tech. You're asking about like how to be a better photographer and how to be a better videographer. If that's the case, gosh, I'm gonna lean on the community. I know that so many YouTubers, I know that our audience watch a lot of YouTube channels that are around videography and photography, and there's Film Booth, there's, hold on. Let me see if I can find this really quick. Yeah, Jevin Dovey. Photo Joseph has some great stuff. The Technique is being recommended. Yeah, lots of different people out there. Travis Shields has a good course as well. So yeah, lots of options. I don't know. I've not taken any of those courses, so I can't give you a recommend. This is the one that's going to rule them all. But definitely take a look at all of those suggestions that we gave you and feel out what feels right to you. Absolutely. All right. Okay, so you have a Mac Air, Melissa, and that I said that streaming is difficult with an Air. Okay. What can I be able to do to live stream it? Now you have an M2, so I'm still not confident in saying that the M2 Air is going to be a good solution. It's the best of the Airs for sure. So what I would say first is go ahead and just test it, right? You have all the stuff set up already. Just test it and see how that goes. Do a test privately, do a test publicly and say it's a test. See if it hiccups on you. It could, right? Even though it's an M2, just because the Air, so one of the things that I hate about the Airs is that they don't have a fan moving that air through, cooling down the computer. And so recording and streaming especially are really heavy tasks on your computer. And so it's just not going to perform as well. Anyway, you can totally test it. But then, again, to the earlier point, how many inputs do you need? How many of all of the things that are you doing? Then you could go to a Mac Mini or a Mac Studio. Most people, the studio, unless you're doing lots of cameras and kind of heavier stuff on your streams, the Studio is kind of above and beyond what you need, right? But yeah, the pros, will work as well. So, I know, right? I certainly made myself laugh. Let's see. Okay, this is a great question. How can we make a live webinar more interactive? I want to provide multi-angle viewpoints and give the viewer the option to pick between them so it mimics themselves moving around trying to see. Okay, you need to come to, well, okay, we're not going to be talking about multiple camera angles, but you're asking about interactivity in a webinar experience. Come to the live training on Wednesday. This is going to serve you incredibly well. Livestreamingpros.com/Zoom. That we are talking about how to make Zoom more interactive. Now, we're looking at the tools that Zoom offers for the attendees as well as you, and we're looking at actual engagement strategies to make that perform better. And then what you can do is, from a tech perspective, you can kind of take that and add to it, right? But if you're gonna have multiple camera angles and allow the viewer to pick between them in Zoom, you didn't say Zoom, but that would be the perfect environment for that. You would need to bring in your cameras in different computers, right? So multiple computers running different cameras in order to have the audience be able to control which one they're looking at. Does that make sense? Okay. Come on Wednesday. You're going to learn a lot. All right, Lee. Next question. What should you do to upgrade from M1 Mini to M2 Mini fully loaded or M1 Studio for multi-streaming with 4 cameras? Oh, 4 cameras, nice. And video editing. So yeah, I personally would choose the Studio with 4 cameras. The M2 Mini, yeah. I'd go with the Studio. Go for, like, if you know you're going to be doing like multiple cameras like that, go for as much as you can invest in that. And then if you're looking at the specs and upgrading from the base model, get as much GPU and CPU as you can in order to, the GPU is really, really important. Yeah, exactly. Well, so yeah, the Studio definitely has more inputs. You could do the A10 Mini again, like I do, but you could also accomplish that with a dock as well. So depends on your needs again, right? Like, or the desired output that you want. I definitely use an A10, but it's just a camera switcher. And if you're gonna use an A10, like, I almost want you to do more with it. You know what I mean? I had it. I actually won that one. Hey, Christian. Nice to see you, says the bald guy. Yeah, I have just been lazy, to be honest. I have been so lazy that I haven't gone to the hairdresser. But yeah, it is getting long, isn't it? But if you like look at the history of my 17 years in video, my hair is the thing that changes so often. Like, because I'm lazy and I hate spending time at the hairdresser because it feels like a waste of time. It's not very productive. Then you'll see, like, I'll like chop it all off and then I'll let it just naturally grow out until I get tired of it again, chop it all off and then color it and all kinds of things. All right, next question. Rafa Room, how do you get the moving border on your screens? Yeah, so this is all done inside of software, streaming software. I use ECAMM. You can do the same thing in like OBS or vMix on a PC. This is a movie file, so it is a video file that I load on top of my camera, so it's a layer in the software itself, and then these are camera inputs, right? So ECAMM allows you to put like multiple cameras on screen. Thank you, Jason, for the super sticker. Pair character lifting some weights saying keep it up. Meanwhile, I dye my hair every week and I look forward to it as my self-care time. There you go. If I'm gonna spend time doing nothing for an hour, I would rather go get a massage, to be honest. But okay, I'm getting yelled at. My goodness, Dave. Jeez. So mean. You all caps. Jeez. All right. Yes. Great point. Thank you for that. I did not say powered, but yes, we have a video on docks and whether, like, what this means on our channel as well, if you need a little bit of more info on that. If the hair salon is a waste of time, then meditation is clearly not your gig. No, I see, meditation actually is part of my routine when I have a routine. No, meditation is absolutely helpful. I see that very differently. In the hairdresser, like, there's this pressure to talk. If I want to be silent, I feel bad. That's probably all me, but it's there. And then it's just conversation and yeah. All right. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Look, moderator wrench and a yellow star. Those are members. Nice. Now, to be fair, I love my hairdresser. She's freaking adorable and so sweet, but yeah. Marcus, thank you so much for the super chat. You brought cookies, meaning you were late. You were late. Your what? Your dot is red? I see it as yellow. When I have a routine. Hey guys, I'm working on it. I told you, I asked you this question in our recent live about, like, this year I am going to nail down balance in my life, and I asked you, do you want to, like, go along with that journey? And you all said, like, way hell yes. And so we're gonna do a bit of that. We're gonna have a little bit of fun on that for sure. Patrick, so I was supposed to shoot this today, but we got a bunch of snow, and that wasn't, I can't now because my videographer can't get here. Anyway, that sounded weird because, like, I'm here. So I am going to be shooting a behind the scenes tour next week. So that'll come out in the next month or so. But I think that we have not this version of the studio, but we definitely have a lot of behind the scenes tours on the channel. So you might want to check those out as well. Yeah. It is yellow on the air. No, yeah. Oh, wait, what? I think the dot is the member age. Oh, okay. So it would be different colors then. Okay. Okay. Wait, hold on. Are you waiting for me to find balance before you find balance? Oh God, the pressure. But yeah, when? We are starting immediately. Ish. No. In terms of content around that, I don't know. It's ASAP. Keep me accountable, guys. Like, I invite you to keep me accountable for this. Okay. Next question comes from Michael. What is your workaround for screen sharing through ECAMM and still have reasonable sharpness in Zoom? So Michael, we're going to be talking about that on the training. So there are multiple ways to kind of go through getting higher quality out of Zoom, and we're going to share exactly those options inside of Wednesday's Zoom training. So if you haven't registered, now is the time. livestreamingpros.com/Zoom. You can do it while we're here. I'll wait. I'll just sit here. No, I'm just joking. I won't do that. But I highly recommend that for this question. Okay, next question. Let's see. How Ami, I just answered your question from somebody else's question, so hopefully you heard that. Architectural sheet metal. How can we make, oh, I already answered that. Okay, yes, you can get higher quality. And I'm gonna train you on how to do that on Wednesday. Register for the Zoom account. Rabbi David, I wanna see you on Wednesday, okay? Patrick, recommendation on a large teleprompter with screen sharing to show comfort monitor and other screen. Okay, I don't know what the last part of that question means. Maybe it's a typo, but any questions about teleprompters? So my favorite teleprompter has been the ICANN from an ease of use. So ICANN 12-inch. It's a little bit more than people really want to spend on a teleprompter unless you are willing to invest that. Prompter People has a variety, which is this one. My ICANN is over there using Prompter People here on the main one. But they have a variety of different options that are a little bit more affordable as well. So those would be the places I go. I would recommend to you. ASAP, accountability survives amongst peers. I like it. I like it. We never got a foot of snow. I'm so jealous. Oh man, really? And also architectural. So could a cell phone serve as the computer? Yeah, have the cell phone camera as a viewpoint, so multiple cell phones for different viewpoints. Yeah, absolutely. Because if you're bringing that into Zoom, you can connect with whatever device, right? You don't have to have a fancy, like, depends on what you want it to be, but if you want to get a little stand for your phone, that can serve as a different viewpoint, absolutely. That whatever you have available to you, computers, iPads, tablets, cameras, phones, whatever, they can all be brought into there. Oh my gosh, 27 months, nothing like that amazing $2 million smile. That is awesome, 27 months, nice, I love it. Okay, y'all, it's the top of the hour. I gotta go shoot some videos for you. Thank you so much for hanging with me today. Do not forget to register for that Zoom workshop that is coming up live. I want you there so that you can ask your questions. Ask your questions, ask your questions, ask your questions. But we're gonna be going through the training and make sure that you get so much more out of your Zoom experience for you. For your attendees, they're gonna be way more engaged, they're gonna have way more fun, and it's going to be a different experience for you. So, how to make a snowman video. Probably not Mike, sorry. I'm gonna say no on that one. Or glue. You know, there's this trend all of a sudden I've been noticing, because I live near beaches, I like going to beaches a lot. But there's this trend I've been noticing of like people building these, like just gathering wood from all over the place and building these like teepees that people then take pictures in afterwards. Don't know who started that or why, but it's kind of cool. I kind of dig it. Anyway, have a wonderful day. We are going to play the credits. We're going to roll the beautiful bean footage. Thank you so very much for putting your dancing shoes on and dancing this baby out with me. Have a wonderful day. Bye.